So, and here's what I want you to also, as a Christian, here's what I want you to know. Y'all use the word salvation out of context, right? Salvation don't pertain to nobody but Israel. Because y'all use it out of context, y'all don't know what that says. Eternal life is a gift given to all men, right? But salvation, give me Luke 1:68. Let me show you what salvation is. Because we was just telling the brother earlier, right? As a nation of people, we cursed. We the ones at the bottom of society, right? We the last hired, first fired, right? Everybody takes advantage of us. Thanks to desegregation, that's what happened, right? We was better off before 1964 than we are now as a nation. Luke 1:68.
Book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 68.
This is Zechariah, John the Baptist's father. So he's speaking in the spirit.
Blessed be the Lord God of Israel.
Okay, so he said, blessed be the Lord God of Israel. Why didn't he name any other nation?
That time, Israel was the only people who believed in that God. Rest of them,
that's not true. That's not true. There's plenty. The Midianites, they praised Moses. God, when he brought them out, everybody that knew about the Exodus knew about the God of Israel. So that's not really true.
But they didn't worship him.
Some of them tried. They did. If you go to the book of Esther, they were so afraid that something was going to happen to them after what they was trying to do to the Jews. A lot of them converted. So they knew. They tried to worship him. But he said, blessed be the God of Israel. And I'm going to show you what salvation is.
For he hath visited and redeemed his people, and has raised up a horn of salvation for us.
See, for us. That horn of salvation is Jesus Christ, right? This is John the Baptist's father talking about the Messiah. When Mary was still impregnated. And they say he raised up a horn of salvation for us, right?
In the house of his servant David.
So he was a descendant of David, right? So we don't believe in the virgin birth doctrine that the Roman Catholic Church instilled in us, because Joseph was the father. All right.
You guys don't believe that Mary was a virgin at all?
No, we're not saying that. We're not saying that. She might have been a virgin when Joseph slept with her.
Right. Yeah.
She had to be.
No, I don't.
She had to be. Yeah.
I don't.
But the word virgin.
When we say the virgin birth doctrine, that's what we're talking about. The virgin birth doctrine says that Joseph's not the father.
But you research you go back to the origins of the word virgin. It just means a young lady. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know.
And the word used in the Old Testament, yeah, in the Greek, that word is a double dual meaning.
Yeah.
That's the same word for both of them. Virgin just means it's a catch-all in the Greek, right? But in the Old Testament, there's two different words for the word virgin, right? One is just a virgin, and the other one is a young woman of marriageable age. Because he called Isaiah's wife, he called a virgin in Isaiah 3, right? Yeah. So Christ was gonna raise up Christ is that horn of salvation that was raised up for us, right?
Verse 7. As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began.
That's Adam, Enoch, Noah, Shem, Abraham, Eber. All since the world began, we've had prophets in the earth.
That he should be saved from our enemies.
So we gonna be saved from who?
From our enemies.
So from our enemies, right?
From the land that thou hast hated us.
And from the hand of all of them that hate us. And you just admitted it, that the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that's still around here today are hated by everybody in the world.
That's right.
You know, especially the black, so-called blacks, as a nation. I ain't saying you individually, but as a nation. Just like Daniel, when you say Daniel was a righteous prophet, Daniel was in slavery, right? Yeah. So and as a nation, y'all got to pay for the crimes that y'all commit against us.
That's
right. Why I'm surprised that y'all ain't out here speaking out against the evils that's happening to our people, because y'all gonna have to suffer with these people, right? If you see a crime happening, and you don't speak out against it, the Most High gonna hold you accountable just like you did the crime.
That's
I don't
right.
understand why y'all don't see that, man. So all y'all that's just going along to get along, or you scared to speak out because you're gonna be ostracized by your people in your community, y'all just as guilty as the people doing it.
Yeah.
So when y'all say, well, it's good white people, we ain't seen them.
Yeah.
A good white person, come speak out. A good white person, stop trying to deflect from the issue at hand to clear himself. All y'all guilty, man. And all y'all going into captivity. Isaiah, now give me Revelation 13, 9 and 10, and then we're gonna get Isaiah 14. And that's just it, man. Y'all don't understand because y'all are taught some love doctrine by Jimmy Swaggart and the Jim Jones, the Kool-Aid dude. And we ain't drinking the Kool-Aid no more.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they talk to love their own people, man. You like answer the question you had. There is no good white people, man. All of them guilty, man. All of them.
That's what I'm saying. And that's why y'all try to get mad at us, but we ain't seen y'all sticking up nobody.
And the ones that do, man, they just do that.
They
do it for brownie points, man. They don't do it from the
Right.
goodness of their heart. It might be some, but like the brother said, we ain't met them. We ain't seen them. I don't doubt that it might be one or two out there.
It probably
You know
is,
what I'm
but
saying? It might be
that's my
one
point.
or
But
two.
why they ain't out here speaking out against the stuff that's happening to us? If they so good,
Not just speaking out,
you say it's good cops.
they got
But what
privilege.
what the good cops doing to the bad cops?
You use your white privilege to go see if you can bring about a change to what happening to our people. Because we ain't got black privilege.
You don't have,
We
it
don't
don't
have
exist.
African American privilege.
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
But that's
We
what
don't
I'm
have no
saying.
privilege.
That's what I'm saying. So when we call the white man the devil, everybody want to get mad at us, but we ain't seen nobody sticking up or saying, "Hey, that's wrong." Even your boy, Robert Kennedy, he said, "What if God is black when y'all get to the gates? What y'all gonna do then?" I got a secret for you though. God is black. It's in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? That was Revelation 13 and 9. So check this out, man. I'm gonna hit you with this. And if you got any more questions, feel free to ask, man. But let me hit you with this.
The book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear.
So if you got, everybody got ears, but if you can understand this, get some understanding. Because we're gonna try to give you the understanding today.
He that leadeth into captivity
If any nation of people lead another nation of people into captivity,
shall go into captivity.
that's just, man, because the Lord hate a false balance, man. They took us into captivity, they were gonna be taken into captivity.
He that killeth with the sword
Y'all killed us with the sword, y'all hung us from trees, used our babies for alligator bait, y'all shoot us down in the street with unarmed and get off and get away with it. I say about out of 100 black men that got killed where the cop actually got in trouble, I say if it was 100 of them, 2 of them got convicted. So y'all at a 98% escape rate, man. Y'all just don't care nothing about justice for nobody but yourself, man. Go ahead.
must be killed with the sword.
So y'all gotta be killed with the sword. Cause I'm gonna hit you with something. The Most High said that the land is defiled with blood. And the only way to cleanse the land of the blood is with the blood of him that shed it. So if nothing happened to the slave owners that were the people that's killing our people, and they blood got to clean the land, how the Lord gonna clean the land? With the blood of their children. Like Isaiah 14 and 21. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is the book of Job, chapter 34, verse 29. When he giveth quietness, who then can make trouble? And when he hide his face, who can behold him?
Right.
Whether it be done against a nation
Whether he judging a nation
or against man alone.
or your individual, and that's something that Christian church don't teach. He judge you individually, true, right? But he judge you as a nation too, right? Like I said, we didn't do nothing, man, before we was born. We didn't do nothing.
That's right.
Our fathers we paying for the sins of our fathers that hated him. We the third and fourth generation of the slave trade.
Yeah, I'd say a lot of churches do actually teach about how nations are judged. You know, have more of the liberal churches, and I have liberation theology that America's going to be judged.
But you're still using the replacement theology though. Because when you get to the so-called New Testament, y'all say that's for everybody. Y'all say that the God of the Bible is talking to everybody. Y'all can't prove that. When did the narrative change from Israel to everybody in the scriptures? Cause I'm gonna tell you. Cause y'all got a misunderstanding of who Paul was writing them letters to. He was writing, in the church in Galatia was Israelites that had a congregation in Galatia, because we were scattered to the four corners. The Romans, there was the church in Rome, they were Israelites that were scattered to Rome. And Claudius kicked them out of Rome. If y'all read Acts chapter 18, you'll see the Emperor Claudius kicked the Jews out of Rome.
He's also a Roman centurion who was
He was an Israelite though.
Well, how do you know that?
Because Jesus Christ said, I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
That's right.
All right, I'll give you an example. Colin Powell, right? You know Colin Powell?
Secretary of State.
Yeah, you know he was in the military, in the Air Force, right?
Yeah.
He was a general, right? What's his nationality?
I would assume he was an American citizen.
He's a Jamaican, right? But yeah, he's an American citizen, but he's from Jamaica. He's a Jamaican, right?
Okay.
Right? But he's in the U.S. Army, right? Same thing was happening in Rome. They had Israelites in the military. Matter of fact, the whole Roman army was mercenaries from every nation. So what part do y'all not understand? Even Cornelius, it says Cornelius was a devout man, right? What does devout mean?
Yeah, it means he was godly worship.
But I thought you just said the other nations weren't following the Most High. Didn't you just say the other nations weren't following the Israelites' religion?
By Jesus and Paul's day, there were people who were converting to Judaism.
Those were Israelites. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The northern kingdom, the southern kingdom, the Israelites were scattered over everything. I'm in Montevallo, right? These brothers in Montevallo. We originally ain't from Montevallo. We came up here to teach, right? You were sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel in Montevallo.
Does that mean that we citizens of Montevallo, or does that mean that we just...
Hey, shalom.
So you follow me now? So in the New Testament, you gotta be careful with the word Gentile. It's 3 different words for Gentile in the New Testament. If it say Hellene or Hellenist, it's talking about Israel. If it say ethnos, it could be talking about Israel, like in Romans 11, it says ethnos. But you gotta dissect that one very carefully, or you'll get hemmed up on it. Because even ethnos can mean a Israelite sometimes. Right, because ethnos just means nation, right? Hellene, look, I had this book right here, Hellenistic Civilization and the Jews, right? Go and say something, I'm gonna find this one.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like the brother's saying, man, you know what I'm saying? Our people were scattered throughout all nations, man. That's why the New Testament, when it's telling you about all nations being saved, that just means Israelites that were scattered throughout those nations coming back to their custom of being Hebrew Israelite, man. Like the brother stated earlier, man. You know what I'm saying? After Solomon, you know, so that was a split between the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. You know what I'm saying? When it's talk about Gentiles, most of the time it's talking about the northern kingdom, man. You know what I'm saying? It's talking about the northern kingdom that was cast off, because like the brother stated earlier, we weren't messing with them at the time. You know what I'm saying? Because they went off into Hellenistic ways of living. So when the southern kingdom and some other Israelites, they were still keeping the old customs. You know what I'm saying? So they really wasn't messing with them at the time. You know what I'm saying? Then you got such thing as the natural Gentile, which would be your people. And the Chinese, the Japanese, and every other nation outside of Israel, that would be the natural Gentile, right? Then you got something, like I stated earlier, you got the other word for Gentile, which means it's referring to the northern kingdom, man. And not just the northern kingdom, any brother or sister that went off from keeping the custom of the Most High, they were considered a Gentile, Hellenized. You know what I'm saying? Because of the land that they were living in, right?
Second Maccabees 4:9.
The book of Second Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 9. Besides this, he promised to. Hold on, I got my arm.
Because I got the history right here. That's why I just wanted to line them up for him. Right? I'm going to go and read this. Check this out. The high priest at the time was Onias, right? Alright. The revolutionaries proceeded cautiously, for apparently it was difficult to abolish at one swoop the ancient tradition which accorded to the Onias, the priest, the monopoly of the high priesthood. A change could, however, be made within the family itself. The needed man was found, namely Joshua, Onias' brother, who had changed his Hebrew name to the Greek name of Jason. So in the book of Maccabees, his name is recorded as Jason. But you see, he changed his name from Joshua to Jason. To seize the post, Jason had to depose Onias, and this was impossible without the king's permission, right? Jason promised the king, in addition to the 300 talents, which were evidently the usual tribute, another 60 and further 80 of another revenue. By this payment, he purchased the high priesthood from Antiochus. Jason promised to pay Antiochus another 150 talents if the latter granted him permission to build a gymnasium and amphibion in Jerusalem and to register the people of Jerusalem as Antiochians. Okay, what you got?
Book of Second Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 9. Besides this, he promised to assign 150 more if he might have license to set him up a place for exercise and for the training up of young and in fashions of the heathen, and to write them from Jerusalem by the name of Antiochians.
See, so we telling you, man, by the time the Romans took over, a whole lot of Israelites was Hellenized. They was calling themselves Greek. So when you go to the New Testament, you need to be real careful about how that word is used. You need to look it up, because it's talking about the scattered Israelites that was following the Greco-Roman customs at the time. That's all it means. So when it says there's neither Jew nor Greek, he's talking about Israelites, all of them. And in the Galatians, if you read up in Galatians, it'll tell you that. If you read the next verse, Galatians 3:29. All y'all read 28, but y'all don't nobody want to read 29. Right? Y'all stop at 28 conveniently, but nobody reads 29. Galatians 3. There is neither Jew nor Greek, there is neither bond nor free, there is neither male nor female, for all are one in Christ. And if ye be Christ, then ye are Abraham's seed and heirs according to the promise. So who is the promise for? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Right? It tell you that in Romans 9 again. It tell you the promise was given to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
That's right.
So, what's your next question, bro?
So, maybe you already explained this. Give me the rundown about you guys believe that originally the Israelites were black eyes. Originally, that was the part of the world that was sub-Saharan Africa.
We're not African, first of all. Alright. But we don't like to use that term African. When we use the term African, we refer to Hamites. The Egyptians, the Ethiopians, the Canaanites, we refer to them as Hamites. And we know in today's modern terminology, when people say African, they try to tell us that we're Hamites. And we're not. We're different nation of people. Even white people, y'all know if y'all look close enough, man, y'all can tell the difference between us and an African. They come over here, they don't even socialize with us when they come over here. Y'all know that. Ain't nothing African, but
right.
Israel is technically on that plate, on that tectonic plate. So Israel is technically in quote unquote Africa. So if you want to say we was black African, yeah, you okay, but we ain't Hamites. That's what I'm wanting to get across to you.
Right. So Israel was a place in the Middle East that the Israelites had blessed.
No, we believe Israel was a man.
But yeah.
And Jacob, his name was changed to Israel. He had 12 sons, and his descendants was were freed out of Egypt by the Most High, and inhabited the land of Canaan that the Most High gave to us, and we named the land after our father Israel. The name Israel is a people before it's a place, right? Because they tell you it's still called the land of Canaan, still call it the land of Canaan. But Israel is a people before a place. So when you see Israel in the Bible, think people first, don't think place. But yeah, the Israelites, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, they was all dark-skinned people, man. If you go do your history, right? Abraham came out of Ur of the Chaldees, right? If you go back and research the ancient Chaldeans, they was black people. They called them the blackheads, right? The Akkadians, the Chaldeans, all them people was so-called black people. Yeah, they was all dark-skinned people.
So, just out of curiosity, what point do you guys make with the Book of Mormon?
The Mormons hate us, man. They hate us. That bastard that wrote this book,
He's a racist, man.
he was a racist devil, and it comes out in his teachings. Now the Mormons today, they try to skirt the issue, but it's in here, man.
Oh, yeah,
They said that having black skin is a curse,
Yeah.
right? And that's why we got this book, because when a Mormon rolls up on one of us, we can use this and show him that his daddy is a racist pig, right? And it no matter how they try to clean it up, it says what it says, right? You know, just like when Pilate wrote on the put that little sign on Jesus' cross, and he said, "This is King of the Jews," and the elders, the Pharisees, and scribes got mad and said, change that to say he said he was the King of the Jews. What did Pilate say? I have written what I have written, right? And Joseph Smith wrote what he wrote. That's it, right? And you know, once it's on paper, man, that's it. You know they tell you in school, right? If it ain't on paper, it didn't happen. Right? You get in trouble at school, they say, if it ain't on paper, it didn't happen, right? Yeah, well, they got it on paper, man. Yeah, we use y'all's books, man.
Oh,
I got another book like that called
I thought that,
Nelson, man.
Yeah.
Nelson says the same thing. Let me show you.
KJV books.
Let me show you.
KJV Apocrypha are very interesting choices given to their.
Why is that?
They were written by Englishmen. It's like,
Give me that red book right there. Boy, you walked up on it today, man. Give me that book right there. That right, memoirs, yeah. You know King James was a black man, right?
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? What does that look like?
Looks like a black man.
He looks like a black man. Who is that? Who does it say it is?
The image of King James from Scott, Swift Waters, Rider, Edinburgh, UK. I guess he fooled a lot of people then, didn't he?
No.
Nobody knows that.
Y'all
They
fooled a
changed
lot
it.
of people.
Wikipedia changed the
Joel
images of all
9:24.
of them. I want you to do me a favor, man. I want you to do me a favor. When you get home, or you pull it up on your phone, man. I'm gonna pull up the description. I want you to look this dude's name up. Hold on a second. I want to show you how white people lie. Okay, look up Charles Lennox, Duke of Richmond, and see if they got a picture of him up there.
Wearing the priest.
Yeah, we're in the precinct.
Yeah, go ahead.
The book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24.
I mean, this came out.
Just pull his picture up. Charles Lennox. Now look at that picture. I'm gonna read you his description. I'm gonna read this first. I want to get the Bible. I'm gonna show you how white people lie.
Book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
That's the judge, Christ. That ain't really Christ. That's what he looked like. Okay, we just showing y'all this is what he looked like according to the Bible. This is what y'all put up of him and sold it to the world, right?
And so on and so forth. And going, King James going to the brother that you about to pull out now.
Yeah.
Man, you know what I'm saying?
All right,
Y'all cover the
image
faces.
Y'all cover the faces, right?
If not, where and who is he?
If the white man ain't the wicked man, where and who is he? Right? You got that picture back up? I'm gonna read you. Charles Lennis. This is from Memoirs of the Secret Services of John Mackey. During the reigns of King William, Queen Anne, and King George I. Okay? This is Charles Lennis, Duke of Richmond. He is the son to King Charles II by the Duchess of Portsmouth. Right? He was carried by his mother into France in the reign of King James and left France in the reign of King William. And they talking about King James III and King William that ruled with Mary. Okay? William and Mary ruled together and they had a joint rulership. Right? When he declared himself for the religion and the constitution of his country, he is a gentleman, good-natured to a fault, very well bred, and has many valuable things in him. Pull his picture back up. He's an enemy to business, very credulous, well-shaped, black complexion, much like King Charles, not 30 years old. Now he was there. He saw him. Who is that?
That's right.
And that's the point we're trying to make, man. When we tell y'all, that's King James. That's Charles II. That's who the guy they talking about in this book. Charles Lennis is his son. You see that? That's that dude's daddy. They trying to say that's Charles II. That's his son. Do you see the resemblance? That's Charles the first. That's his daddy. They beheaded Charles the First, Oliver Cromwell. So what Oliver Cromwell did, they had that revolution. And all them Irish, they was black Irish. You know what they did to them Irish people? They sent them to Jamaica as slaves. Look it up, man. That's how they got the blacks. They got the blacks out of Ireland and sent them to Jamaica. Oliver Cromwell sent them to Jamaica as slaves. That's when you hear the term black Irish, they was really black Irish. King James was a Scot. His whole line was Scot. That's why they didn't like King James. They tried to kill King James like 13 times. The Catholic Church did. Right?
I mean, most of the research I've done, I've found on it, references to policy, negative skin color. You think this is...
That they won't because before 1681, people weren't reckoned by their skin color. They was reckoned by their nation.
That's right.
1681, after Bacon's Rebellion, in 1681, that's when the terms black and white came into being. That's when they started using them terms. But before Bacon's Rebellion, people were reckoned by their nationality.
Before
That's
that,
skin
you
color.
had Shakespeare doing a whole play about black people.
They call them the Moor.
Yeah,
Moor means black.
Yeah.
So the Moors were black. Everybody knows the Moors. I had a book. I think it's in that bucket. But the Jews and Moors of Spain. I left my Nature Knows No Color line. But don't worry about it. But I think I got it in my phone though what it was said. In Nature Knows No Color line, right? The author quotes the Duchess. I think her name was Catherine. Catherine said that during her time there was a Jew. The Jew. She said the Jew could not be black. Everybody thought that the blacks, the Jews, and the Spanish was the same people because the Jews was black. It said in this book he was black like a Spaniard or a Jew. They got the description of somebody in here that says he was black like a Spaniard or a Jew. Right? You look up all them pictures, man. There was black people that got run out of them nations. Right? And the Most High allowed that during the slave trade. And you know what they did? They took our brothers over here, the Native Americans. They was the first ones to go into the slave trade because Christopher Columbus took them back in 1492.
Yeah, they
Right?
They dropped like flies.
Yo, I gotta find that, man. You can see it.
So why? That's the point. That's good that you said that. But why they drop like flies from the season? from y'all people, man.
That's
Giving them
right.
smallpox, giving them all type of form of diseases. Because why? Because your people wasn't strong enough to defeat them head on. Y'all had to use what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? They couldn't beat them head on, but they had to use
deception and
deception. You know what I'm saying?
I
Trickery.
don't think they even realized
It
all
is.
that was going on. They didn't know that much about
You originally came over here to take over the land, man. So what's the point that they didn't know? They originally got off the boats to conquer those people, man, to take this land.
I mean, my only point was you were just saying they had to use deception as if the disease was intentional.
It was. That's the point.
So anyway, back to what I was saying, I found it. It's Waite says an interesting gradation of all shades down to the black is exhibited by the Jews. Especially dark were the Jews of Spain and Portugal. The Portuguese Jews were very dark, says Richard. The Duchess de Brantes, wife of Napoleon's ambassador to Portugal, said that the Jew, the Negro, and the Portuguese could be seen in a single person. So dark were the Jews, especially of Portugal and southern Spain, that many whites thought all Jews were black or dark. This belief, said Barbeau, shows what an error most people are in, since he says the German Jews, as for example those of Prague, are as white as most of their German countrymen. Many of the Jews who were banished from Portugal by John II.
Those people are still around, the Sephardi Jews.
No. Fake
No,
Jews.
no.
You gotta do your research.
See, that's what I'm trying to-
You gotta do your research. Research why Hitler killed those Jews in Germany, man.
Settled in the West Indies. See, that's what I was telling you, man. They ran them, the Jews out of England, Spain, Portugal. They ran them into North Africa, West Africa, and to the West Indies. That's where they ran them to. So,
But those-
yeah, we the Jews, we the Israelites.
Those white Jews, them converts, man. They
we got
fake
this-
Jews, man. That's the reason why Hitler killed them, man. Because they
Got that?
hey, you do your research. Hitler, he had the last name of a so-called Jewish man, man.
They was super group
Yeah,
or
something like that. So he was a so-called Jew himself, man. But he came to the realization that he couldn't have been a Jew because he had pale skin, man. So he knew that he wasn't a Jew. That's why he killed those other Jews, because he once said that they were worshiping a black religion. And if they want to be black so bad, guess what? I'm gonna turn them black. That's why he put them in ovens. Do your research.
I think he said black religion. I think he meant evil. That's what it.
No. It don't mean evil.
Okay.
He said what
That
the
is never
German word is what? Swastika or something. That means black. I'm not fluent in German, but apparently if he wanted to say evil, it's another word for evil. If he wouldn't have to use swatsa to describe an evil, he wouldn't have to use swatsa religion to say an evil religion.
So,
he would just use the German word for evil.
So you saying the English language and the German language are that so close that both of them had that in common, with black means the same different things in both different languages, right?
Yeah.
So Schwarzer means
evil.
black. It means evil too.
I haven't studied German.
Okay.
Possibly.
See, that's like saying, like people say Moses' name, right? Mashal or Moshe in the martyr. You know what that means in Egyptian? Moses. You know what the word Moses means in the ancient Egyptian language?
I actually don't.
It means son of, right? So when they had the kings, with like they had Moses in their name, like Moses, he was the son of Yah, or the moon god. The moon god, Moses means son of, so he's the son of the moon god, right? But in Hebrew, Moses means to draw out, right? So it's the same word, just got two different meanings because it's in different languages. So you're gonna sit up and tell me that it's the same, that I mean, don't get me wrong, we do know that the Germans and the English are the same people. We know that. They the exact. If
Just
you
like
go
the
to
British,
if
like
you go
the
to any
British.
history book, the Brits and the Germans are the same people.
Spanish. Y'all the same. Y'all
Yeah.
the same nation.
Yeah, they
Y'all
the
same
and the
nation
French,
of people.
right?
Yeah.
The Angles and the Saxons. But actually the Anglo-Saxons was black. They ran them out of England during Oliver Cromwell too. So like you said, it was the Catholic versus the Protestants, right? But the Protestants was the black people, and the Catholics ran them out. That's why they beheaded Charles II, right? I mean Charles I. They beheaded Charles I. Then after Cromwell died, they went and found his son Charles II and made him king again. But he died without a legitimate heir, right? Then his brother James II took over. Then his son James III took over. Then William and Mary took over after them, right? Then King George I, you know he was a black man, right? King George I. And the third was too. If you go look up, go to Google, type in King George III, and they got a coin of him in the islands, and look at the depiction of that coin. And this is what we mean, man, how white people lie, man, to change the images, man. Go see if you see that coin in Google Images of King George III, and tell me if that's a white guy. It's like from Barbados or somewhere that coin is.
It's interesting talking to you. I definitely I gotta get something to eat.
All right, man, take it easy, man. And you tell the rest of them devils, man, that you had this conversation, man. Go be a good white guy for a change.
Hey, basically, just put down the Bible and enjoy your life, man. Live it up while you got time to, basically.
That's all I was about to say. But one thing I was finna say, man, no matter how much history, no matter how many Bible verses we come out with, that Edomite gonna believe that his own narrative.
Exactly. Yeah,
He gonna continue to believe his own
yeah.
narrative. You know what I'm saying? Everything we just told him just went out the window.
Exactly.
If he come across another so-called black Hispanic, or he come across another so-called white man, he ain't gonna regurgitate the things that we just told him, man. He gonna go back to
He
his
still
same
believes
narrative.
exactly what he always
Exactly.
believed.
That's why the scripture said, "Cast not thy pearl before."
I was
swine,"
thinking
man.
about, I was going to tell you
know
to
what
get
I'm
that
saying?
scripture too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got him out.
yeah.
For the cameras on. That wasn't for him, really.
that devil,
But
man.
to tell him he was a devil and
Yeah.
the people
That's
was a
all
devil.
I was finna bring out
Yeah,
there.
like-
He judged me.
And that devil destroyed.
Yeah.
That damn devil is destroyed, man. He couldn't stop fucking shaking. He couldn't stop moving.
Yeah, I'm telling
You
you.
know what I'm saying? He just kept. That's why I was looking at him,
Yeah.
looking at him closely. I just realized that he had to be some type of retarded or something.
Yeah.
He kept clutching his waist, man, like this. I guess he was just. It's just some type of click he got. Or
Yeah.
whatever. But I thought that devil had some type of weapon or something, man. You already know how we get down there and count. Like, you ain't
Oh, yeah,
gonna
I
get
know
near
that,
us.
right?
You ain't finna get near us to even try to harm us, man.
That's
So
right.
the angels are camping around us anyway, but I was watching that devil, man.
I
That
was
was really
too.
for the edification of our people, though.
Hey,
So I
that
had to
was
use a
beautiful,
devil.
man.
I had to use a devil to tell him how he was a devil,
Yeah.
show him how they was a devil, and then he couldn't believe he was the devil, and then he ran like a devil.
Exactly. hey, cause that information was cutting it, man. They even more. I say this, they even more shocked and appalled at the information that's coming out than our people, man. Because they realize they've been lied to. They